even listening. Mohbad had what they call an anaphylactic reaction. Anaphylaxis. Once you have anaphylaxis, you're reacting extremely violently to a drug. You stop breathing. So when he stopped breathing, he was literally dead. When Feyi noticed that he stopped breathing, he told the whole family that Mohbad has died. He did not react well to the drug. She actually did her job. The only problem is that she had no authority to dispense ceftriaxone intravenously. She made a mistake there. That line should not have been there. The IV line should not have been there. That's what you guys call drip line. Anaphylaxis is what killed Mohbad. Okay, she should have given the ceftriaxone by injection, but she went and infused it. She infused it with paracetamol. Let me tell you something right now. If Feyi Ogedengbe gets off and they acquit her in the courts, and that's what's going to happen, I hate to tell you. Okay, remember what happened to Adeleke's nurse? The nurse that injected Sherubami, Davido's uncle, former governor, former senator. That's the same thing. We went to the trial and he was acquitted. The reason why this lady is going to be acquitted is a thin line, and it's right there. You have to be intelligent. You know why? If I was the one that was doing nurse that day, I would give the ceftriaxone IM, intramuscular injection, instead of IV. The IV was delivering the drugs. Mohbad reacted to it, and they were not in a clinical setting. If they were in a clinical setting, inside a hospital, they'll do a mayday. Other doctors will come and they'll revive him right away, but they were inside the house. So now that he was almost like what I would call half dead. Mohbad was already 80% dead. No, Mohbad was 90% dead. That's when they were filming him, and then his neck moved. He was about to cross the road to heaven there. And those ones stopped filming. So those guys did nothing wrong. They didn't want to tell you what happened. Guys, you know what really killed him? I'm not saying he can't be given IV. Okay? First of all, she was an auxiliary nurse. She shouldn't be running that line. She should have another nurse supervising her. An auxiliary nurse, okay? What do they call them in America? LPN. She should have a registered nurse, okay? An RN should be supervising her. This is Nigeria, where you get anything you want. So now they want to put the law on her. Unfortunately, she had the right combination of drugs. She went to the pharmacy, she bought everything. She had the right combination of drugs. Unfortunately, Mohbad reacted to the ceftriaxone and he died. And do you know why Mohbad had the anaphylactic reaction? Because before you give ceftriaxone, a cephalosporin drug, you must ask a patient what else they are on. Because if the reaction happens, you will kill them. Or in a clinical setting, the doctor will have said, what is he on? Mistake. Mohbad didn't want to go to the hospital. What was he on? The Molly, the Tramadol, and everything else that was in his system is what killed him. So I was right. He died of a drug overdose. The ceftriaxone had a drug-drug interaction with the opiates in his system, and he died. That's what killed him. EpiPen couldn't take it. EpiPen will not be able to revive him. Okay, because if she gave it IM, injection in his bum, it would be different. But it was an IV, kept running through the line. And Mohbad had drugs in his system. This is why I'm saying stop using drugs, stop using drugs. Don't. You know? In 2 hours, Daddy Freeze, I'm going to explain it. Let me go to Twitter space. Come on the space, guys. It's crazy. But this is one of those things. She will get a lawyer and she will get off. Even if they take her license, she will get off. She won't go to jail. It was an anaphylactic reaction, and the loophole is that she shouldn't have been administering it. They will give her, 2 years in prison if she even gets convicted for that part. And her lawyers will find a way to get her off because of the drugs. See, at the end now, Mohbad is dead. Now they will take the autopsy, will now give them the toxicology test and say, look at all the drugs this boy had in his system. It's what killed him. So nurse will know that he has taken Tramadol and Molly and everything else. You see life. Stop using drugs. Stop using drugs. Okay? If you are using drugs, smoking everything, now you're in a car accident. They rush you to the hospital. By the time they want to give you one drug, nobody knows you have smoked and you have swallowed this. You will now have reaction to that one. That's what happened. Remember what I said about my cousin? My cousin was even like hanging with drug dealers on the streets, and he didn't know they were known drug dealers. Maybe he knew, I don't know, but they were all fleeing from the police. Accident, they enter emergency room, and anesthesia overcame him. So that's what it is. The big thing there is don't do drugs. So, all right, meet me on Twitter Space. I'll be on Daddy Freeze at 6:30 Nigerian time. It's going to be long, but it still bothers around justice for Mohbad, but you are not looking at Sam Larry and Naira Marley. The NDLEA is also complicit. The NDLEA is also complicit. They said they will investigate the video. If anything happens to me, blame Naira Marley and Naira Music. And also the drink they gave him at the NDLEA rehab center. NDLEA will respond to that and they'll be discharged. Sam Larry and Naira Marley, they will look into the bullying things, but they've already said they have nothing to do with the actual cause of death. They will release them. Also, Sam Larry and Naira Marley, they'll be monitored by Nigerian Immigration Service for their entry, for their going out and coming in. And the things that those ones said they went into the country when he died, immigration said they're going to, check that to make sure they're not lying. At the end of the day, they all have lawyers, so they're not complicit. Prime Boy, his interview was useless, but she's now implicated.